Hello? I'm just gonna shine a light in your eyes, okay?
What are her chances?
The next 24 hours are critical. Have you identified her yet?
No.
At the moment, we don't know who attacked her or why. What we do know is the weapon was a heavy, blunt instrument, probably metal. Any questions?
No, Sergeant.
Right, I want a systematic search of the area, from the street over there to the other side of the railway lines, not forgetting guys at the back, please, to look both over and under the bridge here. Anything you find, no matter what it is, I want to know about it. I'd like the search done properly, please, no mistakes, because at the end of the day, this case may well turn into a murder inquiry. Any questions? Right, guys with the dogs, can you start on the railway line, please? Some of you start the house to house, the rest of you start the ground search, and I'll come and join you in a few minutes.
I don't know what she was doing around a place like this after midnight. She was asking for trouble.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to find out.
What do you want, Hollis?
Want to CID.
You know as well as I do that property found on the street is a uniform job.
Not if it's the proceeds of a crime.
Oh, yeah? And who says it's the proceeds of a crime?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah. Intuition, based on experience.
Intuition, my arse. Hand it back to the finder.
But it's been dumped, Sarge. There's no purse, no wallet, no correspondence, nothing to identify the loser.
Get lost, Hollis.
What if it belongs to this woman who's in hospital?
Where was it found?
Wardle Avenue.
Wardle Avenue? That's at least 2 miles from the scene of the crime, for heaven's sake.
You never know.
On your bike, Hollis.
Ted, I just thought...
Look, this is my weekend off. I've already had 3 on the trot cancelled.
That is irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant when you've got a girlfriend who's tired of excuses.
Sorry, I spoke.
Hollis, this job is not the be-all and end-all, you know. Now, for once in my life, I'm putting someone else first. So do yourself a favor. Pick up the bag and lumber some other bod. Reg. Put it on the desk. But if I miss my train, you'd better make yourself scarce, mate.
You've done this before, haven't you?
Hello, sir. Any identification?
No, not really. She's got some nice gear, expensive taste, silk shirt, cost at least 150 up west. And then there's the suit skirt, foreign label, and again, it's stylish and expensive, but it could have been bought anywhere.
Perhaps she's a high-class hooker.
Not according to the doctor.
Now, this one's got a French label. Viv reckons that
It's got an unusual brand mark. Perhaps we could localise the outlet.
I'd have thought if she was straight, someone must realise she's missing by now.
Don't count on it. In this city, you could live for years in a bedsit and never see your neighbours, let alone talk to them. We live in a caring society. Didn't you know that?
Amanda Janes, this is Detective Sergeant Roach, Sunhill Police Station. Listen, I wonder if you could do me a favor. I'm trying to trace the owner of a shoulder bag. Yeah, it's got no identification at all except for a receipt for a pair of shoes. Yeah, bought at your shop. The invoice number is A347125. Thank you, if you wouldn't mind.
Morning, Sarge.
Yeah. Listen, would it be all right if I popped around to your place about an hour's time? Great. Thank you.
2 got probation, 2 got fines. I swear those magistrates are getting worse. If that had been old Wiggins, they would have gone down straight away, no messing. I thought you wanted to get away by midday.
Yeah, so did I, mate.
Well, you're going to be hard pushed to get up to the Lake District by tonight.
You wouldn't do this for me, would you?
Doesn't go with my shoes.
Oh, come on, I'm on a tracer.
Yes, and I'm up to here.
Jarvis? Yeah? Detective Sergeant Roach, Sunhill Police. I understand you handed in the shoulder bag to one of the lads this morning.
Yes, that's right. You found out who it belongs to.
Not yet. Where exactly in the street did you find it?
Oh, I didn't find it in the street. It was in that garden over there. I saw it when I took his milk in.
Somebody lives there?
Oh, yes, Mr. Morgan. I'll show you if you like.
Please do.
He's a cantankerous old so-and-so. Must be in his 80s now. You know, I take him a meal over every day. He doesn't say as much as thank you. Opens the door, snatches it out of my hand, and closes the door again. Wonder why I bother. Hello. Still, you can't just ignore people, can you?
So where did you find it?
Oh. There. Just there.
No idea how it got there, I suppose.
No.
I'd better have a word with the old boy.
Mr. Morgan! Usually takes him some time to get to the door. Mr. Morgan!
Are there any relatives?
Probably, but they never show their faces. Can't really blame them.
Who is it?
It's me, Peggy, from over the road.
What do you want?
There's a policeman here wants a word.
Mr. Morgan, will you open the door, please?
Policemen? They're all dead.
Uh-oh. Mr. Morgan, I need to talk to you.
Go away!
Where's Ted?
On an inquiry.
An inquiry?
Yes, something to do with a bag.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet. He promised me faithfully he'd have those Harris papers done by lunchtime.
He did get in early, Gov. He's been at it since 8:30.
That's what he's paid for.
I'm going to be at least another 20 minutes here, Jim. I suggest when you're finished in the flats, you take the questionnaires back to the DI for check-in before dismissing anyone.
Yeah, sure, Skip.
Can I help you?
Yeah, Detective Sergeant Roach, Sunhill.
Ah, the inquiry about the receipt.
Yeah, any luck?
Yes, can you tell me a little more? I'm not sure I should...
This shoulder bag was dumped in somebody's front garden. I just want to find out who it belongs to so that I can return it to her. It's as simple as that.
A detective sergeant?
Yeah, you're right. Lost property is not part of my job description, but now and again we've all got to make sacrifices. Do you know what I mean?
I was a little puzzled. Concerned, that's all.
There's a lady in hospital who's been brutally attacked. Now, she's unconscious and is fighting for her life. If I knew who she was, I wouldn't be here. Do you understand?
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
So let's start again. The receipt?
Yes, she paid by credit card. All I have on record is this.
P.J. Anderson.
I don't have an address. She wasn't a regular customer. I've asked the staff, but no one can recall her. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. This should tell me all I need to know. Thank you.
So nobody saw or heard anything?
Well, Mrs. Carley at number 23 distinctly remembers a car accelerating away and a squinting of tyres. It was about 2:30.
And that's all?
Well, I've got to go back this evening. There's a lot of people still at work. But I need some help, though.
Well, maybe Bob can help us out.
Well, there'll be a few moans, but I suppose I could rustle up maybe 5 or 6 off the late turn.
Oh, hold on a sec. He thinks you've been entertaining on expenses.
Well, he would, wouldn't he?
Tread carefully.
You still here?
Shut it, Carver.
So, if we don't get any joy for streets, I'm going to have to widen the house to house.
Tonight?
Yeah, well, it's still fresh in people's minds. Strike while the iron is hot. Ted, what do I have to do? Get you a ball and chain?
I had your best interest at heart, Gov. The lady you got in hospital, expensive clothes, nice gear. I think this may well be her bag. Found about 2 miles from the scene. Everything of value has been nicked. You can handle it, everybody else has.
Any identification?
Yeah. Receipt for a pair of shoes paid for by credit card.
Carsham Credit Company.
Tony Jameson.
Got his number.
Lucky old Ted.
Luck's got nothing to do with it. It's intuition based on experience.
Oh, yeah? Where'd you find it?
In a front garden, Wardle Avenue. I mean, some old geezer wouldn't even open the front door to
Carson
me.
Credit.
We had this crazy
Must be your
conversation
chief
through the
security
letterbox.
officer, please.
The place stank to high heaven. I reckon he's got gangrene.
Look, would you two mind continuing this conversation outside?
I reckon the guy should be put in a home.
What's his name? Morgan?
What, you know him?
Well, if it's the same bloke, yeah, it must be. I thought he died.
He probably did, but nobody told him to lie down.
Ah, he's a police pensioner.
He's never.
Yeah, it's court sergeant, retired early 50s.
Court sergeant? No wonder he's a miserable old sod. Maybe he should be in a home.
Why don't you ask police welfare to go round there?
Because they'd never get in the place.
You don't know how to talk to people, Ted.
Philippa Louise Anderson, Come on, Tip. We're off the yuppie land.
Just a minute, Gov. This is my weekend off. You said I could get away early.
Well, don't you want to find out whether your hunch is right?
Well, of course I do, but I got these case papers to do and a report for the CPS.
So, how long's that going to take you?
Well, long enough. I won't get away early.
Come on.
Not a chance.
Don't I know it?
Tasty.
I could be wrong. We might have the wrong woman.
Well, we'll soon find out. Mr. Anderson?
No. Who are you?
We're police officers. Detective Inspector Burnside, Detective Sergeant Roach.
And you are?
Robin Granger. What's happened?
I was under the impression a Philippa Anderson lived here.
Yeah, I'm her boyfriend. Can you tell me what this is all about?
Can we come in, or are we holding you up?
Oh, no. She's not in trouble, is she?
Why should she be in trouble?
No reason. Can you tell me what's happened to her?
When did you last see her?
Last night.
I think you better come with us, sir.
I can't believe it. Are you sure it's Pip?
Tell me what happened.
I think clearly.
Well, let's try, shall we? We went out to dinner.
Pip was wound up. She'd had problems at work. She'd lost an important client, and her boss told her she was losing her grip.
Would it have upset her so much?
On top of that, Pip wants me to get a divorce, and we argued about that.
And you continued the row in the car on the way back to her apartment. Is that right?
Yes, she demanded I get a divorce. She wouldn't listen. What could I do?
So she told you to stop the car?
Yeah. I didn't know where we were, and she didn't care. She just slammed the door and stormed off.
Then what happened?
I went home. To my wife.
Meet us round the other side.
Any unit with the I Burnside on board, acknowledge please. Yes, Greg, over.
Alistair, this is Ted. Burnside is indisposed at the moment. Can I help? Over.
Only to say we're more or less finished here, except for a few house-to-house which can't be done until this evening. Just wondered what you wanted us to do next, really. Over.
I'd go back to the factory once you've finished. Oh, by the way, for your information, we've identified the lady and have a suspect.
I'm sorry.
Go away!
How you doing, George?
Who are you?
Bob Cryer.
Babu?
Bob Cryer.
Well, I don't know you. Go away.
Come on, George. I know it's been a long time, but it's not been that long. Come on, George. You remember me. Get in.
Why like that? Why?
Don't you see any of the youngsters off the beat round here, then?
What? Riding about in cars. They're too busy to worry about me.
Well, I get them calling on you.
Mind you, in my day, we had to walk the beat. Yeah. And at regulation speed, did you know that?
That's when a copper was a copper.
Yeah. And you weren't allowed to stand in an idle and listless manner, nor to gossip.
Not like that now.
And on no account were you to accept a drink, not from anybody whatsoever, because it was discreditable. One offence and out.
What about upstairs?
upstairs. I thought, yeah, I managed.
Look, George, you know we got a welfare department.
No, I don't want any busybodies poking their nose in it. If that's what you've come for, you can bagger off.
Mr. Granger, you are here in connection with the murder of Philippa Anderson. I'm going to ask you some questions. You're not obliged to say anything
I
unless...
can't believe this!
Don't you miss the comradeship of the job?
Comradeship? My old mates are all dead. Well, aren't you going to have one?
I don't think the tea bag will stand it.
Oh.
Look, George, I can't leave you like this. I'm going to have to do something about you.
No.
Now, look, you're not being very helpful. At least let me get someone from welfare in here.
I'm not going in a home.
Oh, so that's what it's all about.
Not going to spend my last days in one of those places. When I die, I want to die here.
When she demanded that you stop the car for her to get out, why didn't you stop immediately?
She said it in a fit of temper. She didn't mean it. She was like that.
So why did you change your mind?
I decided to call her bluff.
So you went past the railway station and turned off down the back doubles?
Yeah.
Where no one would see you?
That's not true.
Well, it is very dark. Badly lit. Hardly the most salubrious part of London to drop your girlfriend off.
I didn't think she'd get out of the car. I honestly didn't think she would.
PC Carver enters interview room. So you watched her run off? Or did you?
I don't know what you mean.
Did you follow her in the car?
No. Look, I've told you I turned the car around and went home to my wife. Look, I know it doesn't put me in a good light, but that's the way it was.
Did you love your wife?
At one time, yes.
That was before you fell out.
I don't know what you mean.
On the 23rd of July 1990, your wife was admitted to hospital with abdominal and facial injuries. You were interviewed by the local police. Unfortunately, your wife changed her mind and refused to give evidence against you. Is that correct? I want you to get Greg to go round his house, see his wife. I want to know what time he got home. And I want the clothes he was wearing last night. And I want his car towed in. Get the lab boys to go over it with a fine-tooth comb. We're badly in need of a forensic tie-up here, Ted. Otherwise, we're going to have to kick him out.
Right.
I hear we've got a suspect.
Yep, my boyfriend.
Quickest result he's had in a while.
So, she wasn't mugged then?
A lover's tiff.
Nice one. Drinks on the DI tonight then.
Got a job for you lot.
How long are you going to keep me here?
Until I've eliminated you from the inquiry. Or I'm satisfied that you...
I didn't do it.
What were you doing in Philippa's apartment this morning?
I decided to collect my things and return the key. I felt it was all over.
You could have been removing all the evidence that could connect you with her.
Why? You would have found out sooner or later she was having an affair.
That is possible. After she got out of the car, you followed her.
No.
But you've already said you didn't want the affair to end.
Yeah, I didn't follow her.
Why not?
Sit down.
I decided to teach her a lesson.
Some lesson, Mr. Granger.
I didn't do it. I loved her.
Why'd you take her shoulder bag?
I didn't.
Maybe it contained something that would connect you with her. Or did you want to try and make it look like a mugging?
No. No!
I'll give the welfare a ring, shall I?
No, listen to that. I'm not promising anything. I'm not having any women telling me what to do.
We'll see. Look, why don't you just sit there and I'll see myself out?
Bob, I saw them, you know.
Saw who?
The ones that your mate wanted to know about. Yeah, your mate, they came banging in my door like a lunatic.
What do you mean, Sergeant Roach?
Yeah. They were in a white car with a brown stripe. I'm not as senile as you think. One of the stoplights was smashed. That should give you a clue.
What are you talking about?
The youngsters. Who threw that handbag into my garden?
Peter, put this gentleman on ice for a while, will you?
Yeah, sure.
Sit down.
Right. Name. Granger. Robin Granger.
Bit of a state, isn't it?
Where did you pick this up?
An hour ago.
Was it nicked?
Yeah, false plates. Two of you lot caught up with it this morning. Had a bit of a chase by all accounts, wrote off a few parked cars.
Tony, that white motor out there.
Yeah, bought it this morning.
Why?
Why? Because it was nicked.
And what put you onto it?
We came up behind it at traffic lights. Steve noticed it only had one brake light, so we decided to give it a pull. He shot off like a bat out of the hill and crashed 3 or 4 motors.
Frank?
It was a straight nick, Sarge.
What's the problem?
So where are they now?
Down the cells.
Any form?
Look, Bob, I'm a very busy man. What's this all about?
Just a second.
2 for City Roads ground, 1 from our manor. All got convictions for robbery. Do you want me to go through each one?
What kind of robbery?
Muggings.
What's that got to do with us?
That shoulder bag you had? Did it belong to the woman in the hospital?
Yeah.
Well, while you've been chasing around and trying to solve your crime, the culprits have been banged up in the neck.
How'd you make that out?
Morgan, man you went to see this morning? Should have spent a bit of time with him, had some patience.
What are you talking about?
He's not as dozy as he seems.
Come on.
I've never felt so degraded in my whole life.
You should be pleased. We're not going to charge 3 youths with Philippa's murder. Doesn't that give you some sort of satisfaction?
You were convinced I killed her, and I'll never forget that. You treated me like a common criminal.
You're forgetting one thing, Mr. Granger. It was you who abandoned Philippa. You dumped her in a part of London I wouldn't leave a dog in. You stuck yourself in the frame. So don't give me any of that pious crap about being victimised.
Sign here. Now, you haven't had the last of this. I'm going to sue you for every penny you've got.
Nice one, T. Good boost to the clear-up rate. Mind you, as Bob said, if you had been a bit more patient with Morgan, you wouldn't have had all this aggravation.
Well, I wasn't, and now I'm late. Is it all right if I get off now?
What about all that paperwork?
Good result, eh, son? You see? Intuition based on experience.